Hey guys, and welcome back to Laura's Cozy Corner. I had to come out and get my tripod. Today I am home from going to doctor visits and stuff, running errands and all that good stuff. And we're having a family get-together tomorrow, like a reunion, and I am making homemade potato salad and chocolate chip cookies and probably no-bake cookies. So I kind of wanted to show you all what I'm doing here with the homemade potato salad. It's pretty easy. I don't write down measurements because somebody told me really quick how to make it, and I just kept it rolling in my head till I got home and just wrote it down, but they didn't tell me measurements either, just to taste. But it's chopped and cubed potatoes, cooked and drained, mayonnaise, mustard, salt and pepper, pickle relish, dill pickle juice. You just mix it all together and you keep it refrigerated. I don't use mayonnaise, I use Miracle Whip. And then, of course, you know, being the cook, you gotta taste it, make sure it's good and done. They're good and tasty. You wanna have a little bit of a twang, not too much of a twang. So you gotta slowly add in that mustard and slowly add in that dill pickle juice to have that twang. The pickle relish gives it a little bit of a sweetness to it. So here I am in the kitchen, and I got my cutting board ready. This is my compost bin that I use in the kitchen, and I got half of this 10-pound bag of potatoes done, kind of getting it started. And then I realized, wait a minute, I gotta do it. I got a video, right? I'm trying to be better at it. So I got this big old stock pot because my little, this, which is my biggest stainless steel pot, was not big enough for the family we're gonna have. This is good for 5-pound potatoes, just to give you a heads up. And I'm gonna use this one for the 10-pound potatoes. So getting them cut up, I just pour some water down in this pan. I don't have it on yet, so I want it to all cook at the same time. Not have any crunchy potatoes and really soft potatoes, you know, cook them all at the same time. So I got some water in there and just a little bit over the taters. There we go, now you can see. And we dice them up, whatever you guys think. I do it kind of small, but not as small as I do hash browns, I guess you could say. I do hash browns a little bit more smaller. So the easiest way I found to peel potatoes is with a potato peeler, haha. I used to use a knife when I was with my mom. Then I realized, duh, because I always used this to peel carrots. It's just what I was learned. I was like, duh, the potato peeler. The only thing I don't like with the potato peeler is it peels more potato than what you're trying to peel. With a knife, I could have controlled that. But pick your battles. Always, if you're learning, always do it away from you so you don't get any fingers in the way. And I'll flip it over to the other side. I don't know which is quicker for me, peeling with a knife or a potato peeler. I don't know. Alright, then I give it a little rinse because the dirt residue, I just like to get all that off of there. Easiest way I found to cut is turn it on its side and cut down the middle. And then if it's really wide potato, you cut on each side. Just watch your fingers. And these taters are really hard to cut. I'm used to the Yukon Gold potatoes. These are russet ones. They're really hard to cut. And I'll lay them down, half it, lay it down, flat down. And I cut these in half. And cut again on each side. Come around here and I just couple.
Mom, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sweaty. Can I take a shower?
Yes.
Thank you. I've just been pretty sweaty for the past few days.
You can absolutely take a shower. All right. I'll take the flat edge of the knife and just I just give it a good stir, making sure that it's still covered until I get all these taters done. Love you too, Parker. That was a nice hug. Well, I didn't get much hug.
There you go. Me too.
Add some more water to my pan here to just make sure the potatoes are covered. Trying to prevent them from turning brown with the cuts. So, all right, show you what I do with peeling with a knife. I don't know, it might be easier for me to peel with a knife. Of course, I do it toward me. Find your way you like doing things and just go with it. I like cutting all these dark spots out. These are not organic potatoes, so I don't know. I didn't have the funds today to do this, but do organic. Everything's almost double price or half, you know, price plus half when you try to eat healthy. And I try to eat it the best I can healthy when I can. So, good rinse. See, I cut down the middle and then on each side. And I split it flat down the middle, down each side. You can see how those cuts were made. I'll just spread them out. See? They look like French fries. Big steak fries. And I just chop. Let's see if you can see this away. There we go. And they're cut probably 1/2-inch cubes. It's whatever you think. then just try to cut them uniform. So what we're probably going to do is probably just boil them for about 20 minutes or so. You don't want them to, I like to look at potatoes, like the edges of them. If you notice, they're sharp, right? As you're boiling your potatoes, they will soften around the edges. So you're going to look for that, watch them round off, and then you can take a fork and poke one and see if it goes through. And that's how you tell when a potato is done. For those of you starting out in cooking. Oh. And for those of you that's been cooking for a while, I hope that wasn't too boring. All right. Third time making potato salad in my life. Maybe the second time. Yeah, this is the second time I've made it. First time was for my sister's baby shower, and they loved it. It was weird. They loved it. Huh?
I was gonna say, did I walk myself in? I actually opened the door at first. It's a lot bigger.
Do you?
Yeah.
Showers are wonderful.
What?
Said showers are wonderful. So I had a homeschool episode yesterday where Parker didn't want to follow directions, and I just want to share that with you, what all I've done and everything. Parker doesn't like to write. I mean, what child does like to write, I don't know, but I used to like to write when I was a child, so it didn't bother me. Of course, I'm a girl, he's a boy, but I told him, I said, we're going to have to start writing on, working on his penmanship and how to write letters better than what he's doing now. Right now it's just kind of all over the place, writing his name all big and sloppy, okay? And I don't do workbook papers and stuff a lot of times. I do have them, and I probably will get to them. It's just not at the moment. But So I had a little notebook, you know, one of those notebooks that have the line paper on it, where you got, well, back when we was in school, it wasn't colored lines and the dotted line in the middle, but he has colored lines, and top one's red, bottom one's blue, or vice versa, I can't remember. And it's got the dotted line in the middle to show how to write the letters correctly. So I started with that journal, and to me that's writing really, really big, right? And because I like college ruled notebook paper, and that's a little bit bigger than wide ruled, I think. So I told Parker, I said, Parker, we're going to write something today in a journal. He's like, I don't want to. He said, I'm going to text. He's a very smart kid, okay? He said, I want to text and type. We don't write, Mom. This is not the 80s or the 90s. I said, yes, but it'd be good if you learned how to write, just in case something happened where there's no electricity. That's one reason. 2, if you happen to lose your voice in some way, fashion, or form, you still know how to communicate. Well, I could still type, Mom. I said, yes, but if for some reason there was no way to type, and all you had was a piece of ink pen or a napkin or whatever, you know how to write and communicate with others. And so after saying all that, he still insisted, I'm just going to type. Well, I said, all right then, go get your phone and you get your notes out on your phone. And he did. And I told him what happened on your birthday party. You know, I thought of something real easy for him, okay? To come up with a sentence or two of something to write. What happened at your birthday party? I don't know. I said, come on, Parker. What happened at your birthday party? I don't know. So he's just trying to push a button, right? So I said, okay, let's do this. I said, who showed up first at your birthday party? He said, Levi. I said, okay, start with that. Start with Levi arrived at my birthday party first. And so he was learning how to text it, correct? He's 10, okay? So he learned how to text it. And then I said, now, who showed up next? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, here, let me look at what you got. And he typed it out like this. He typed, I arrived, and then had the @ sign, my, and he put B-Day party first, like number 1 ST, okay? And he had no period at the end. So I was correcting his grammar. Well, so I told him capitalize the L, arrived is RR, ARRIVED. I think he had, that might have been spelt right because of the autocorrect a little. And then I said the @ sign has to change to AT. You gotta erase, take that out. So he's learning how to erase in his phone, right, when he's texting. Take that out and put AT. But Mom, that's how we write. I said, yes, that's shorthand. He said, yeah, shorthand. I said, but you need to learn how to write longhand, just in case someone doesn't know how to read shorthand. And so he huffed and puffed, you know, but I made him do the @ my, and I said, you got to write out birthday, BIRTHDAY, or type it out. He done that, and I said, you got to write out the word first, not number 1 ST. Come on, Mom. I said, no, write out the word first, FIRST. So he typed it out and put a period. I said, now, say then. I said capital T, H-E-N. Who showed up next, Parker? And he said, Mikey. All right, I said, write his name in there. I said, who showed up next? Annabelle, Hope, and then Wyatt. And I said, okay, write their names in there. And then period. Well, then I took a look at it, and it was spelled, you know, then Mikey was lowercase. All the names was lowercase. I told him to uppercase all the names. You got to put a comma in there after each name, and put a space between the commas and the next name. So I corrected his grammar. And then at the very end of the last person, you have to put the word and. But Mom, yeah, you still gotta write and a space, you know, I just kept doing that. And then a period. And then I just left it at that. I wasn't gonna do the whole birthday day. I was just trying to get him a couple sentences to write, okay? And I'm telling you my ideas here. Maybe it could work for your child. I said, okay, now let's write it down here on this paper. All you gotta do is look at that and write it down here on this paper. But Mom, that's gonna be too hard. And I saw the tears fixing to come, right? So, I mean, he doesn't really cry, but I can tell his feelings are hurt in his face, and it's almost like an anxiety thing, because I'm telling him what to do, right? He don't like to be told what to do. So I said, okay, let me do this, make it even more easier. I said, Mom's gonna write it down on this paper, and you're gonna write underneath mine. So all you gotta do is look up, know how to write it, and write it down. So he's walking back and forth while I'm writing it on there for him. It took up about half the page, and then I said, now you get to write the rest of this on this page. I said, try to write it spaced perfectly like this one. He said, that's going to be hard, Mom. I said, just try your best. Write your best. If you happen to go bigger and you can't fit everything on this one page, we'll just leave it at that. He said, okay, and then started writing. Well, and then I told him, I said, at the top, I want you to draw something up top and color it. Yeah, there's a space on top. It's like writing a book almost, where you can draw something to go along with it, whatever you wrote. And I said, you could draw you and your friends or something, okay? And then color it. Well, then I had a DoorDash pop up. Hank's here at home, so I didn't leave him by himself. But he was at the kitchen table, and I told him, I said, do not get up unless this is done, and I'll be back. So I come back from DoorDash, and he wrote it all down, smaller than I thought he would have. And he did squish a few things and didn't have enough spacing in there, but I did show him what he needed to do. Okay, and I said, next time we'll change it, right? He said, okay. So this time I didn't change it because it was already late anyway. I just left it how it is to show his improvement through the years, what I'm hoping to show. So I said, you didn't draw anything. Come on, Mom, do I have to draw? Yes. Draw something. It'd be all right. And I was telling Hank, and Hank was wondering what was going on. So I told Hank what was going on. He said, you could draw you a birthday cake or some balloons or something. So that's what he did. He drew a birthday cake and balloons. And I said, now you need to color it. Mom, I said, yes, you got crayons, you got colored pencils in there, you got markers. Pick you whatever you want to use to color it with. Of course, he goes in there and gets something that I never even said. Paint markers. And he just colors big crazy blobs on his balloons, right? in the cake. Just does it as fast as he could. To me, he didn't want to do it, but that was the first time we done it, and I'm not going to pressure too much. What little I did pressure wasn't going to hurt him, I promise you. So that was my homeschool experience, where not everything goes as planned. Sometimes your child wants to rebuttal you. You figure out ways to go around that rebuttal. It don't have to be just like the teachers did at school. Perfectly got to have exact. No, you want to see how this child progresses over the years and have him express himself, but you also got to teach him what's important to know. Like the math aspect, a lot of times I think the math is a little bit over people's head because they can't grasp it, they don't understand how it's being used, and they won't use it. Now, until they need to use it, that's when it becomes helpful. So like math, I've been teaching him ever since he could count change and learn what a quarter is. And teaching him what they mean and everything. That doesn't mean that he can grasp it right away. I mean, it was just this year that he realized a quarter is 25 cents. It starts with pennies, guys. Don't pressure your children. It depends on how they learn. But if you just work with them on doing things around the house for, here's an example. I started something new this time. He wanted to do things around the house for points, which meant if he was trying to get 50 points. If he got 50 points, he could play a game for an hour, is what he was saying. Well, I said, okay, but we're going to do 60 points for an hour, because to me, I was thinking a point can be a minute, right? Come on, parents, agree with me. So a minute could be a point, and he didn't like that very well, but it helped show me how long it takes for him to do something, that I don't overwork the child and have no time to relax and rest, you know. So it helped me to figure that out, which I don't overwork him. He actually needs to probably work more than what he does. And the only work that I give him is what he can handle. He can handle packing in groceries. That takes, what, 15 minutes? So that he gets 15 points. Well, I didn't like that system, Mom. Can we change it? Can we just not do the points? I said, no, I got a better idea. I said, let's do it for money. He said, what? He said, yeah, let's do it for money. In my mind, it's, okay, 15 cents for 15 minutes worth of his time to help me out. To me, it's well worth it. Each penny is a minute. So that's what I'm doing with him. Packing in groceries, 15 minutes, you get 15 cents, Parker. All right, you know, he's ready to go. Each trash bag, you know, I estimate about how long it would take to take a trash bag out, tie it up, take it to our dumpster, come back, and refill the can with a new liner. And with that estimation, I come up with about 5 minutes. So 5 cents for every trash bag taken to the curb. For me, it saves my legs. And for him, he's earning something that he can spend. And it's a reward for helping. And pennies, my goodness, I think it's a great way to start. Hope that helps somebody somewhere out there. Okay. Now I've got all of my potatoes in the water. And I want to add water enough so that there's enough room for all of them to move around pretty freely. That's a little bit better. but not too high where to boil over, so. Feels pretty heavy. Let's do 1 more cup. Now, that's better. Feels more free where all the potatoes can get done at the same time, I feel. And I don't think it'll boil over. So, let's put this, take this off of here. Put that on the burner. And I'm gonna put it on for probably on medium to bring it to a slow boil, just so it doesn't burn at the bottom. Okay, so while that is going to boil, start boiling, watch pot never boils, right? I'm going to show you my little chart over here that I was talking about. I have this little chart that was given to me, and it's got different chores that he could do and how many he could earn, which I done did the point system here, and I just convert it to pennies, okay? And then he gets to mow the yard. It's something extra for $10 per week. And up here with emptying trash, I put each, and I listed where there's a trash can in each room, so he could earn that much, just to give him an idea. Say, hey Mom, I need to earn such and such money. What can I do to help you? And I'll say, it's right there on the chart. Pick you something to do and I'll pay you for it. So what we do is kind of play around with money, because me and Hank a lot of times don't know how to say no when our child asks us for something. At the beginning it was very hard. So that's where I changed to, okay, he needs to earn his money and learn how to save money to get what he wants. That stops us from spending too much money, and it helps build his character, okay? And so that's what we decided to do. And so now it's, hey Mom, what can I do to help you to earn enough money to get this? Instead of, hey Mom, can I have this? You know. So what I do is, back when I was pregnant, we would save our change. And this is probably a lot of it still. So I would save our change, and it went to Parker as a savings. And I'm just not able to do it right now, but when I get back to it, I will. But this is how I pay him, in coins. And then once he pays me back, buying things that he wants, he's learning how to count each coin. He knows what each coin is worth. So the penny is worth a penny, the nickel, he knows what a nickel looks like, he knows what the dime looks like. Now granted, when he's super excited, he kind of gets a little confused. But I said, just look at it instead of telling him the answer. Oh, what is it? He'll say, look, what is this, Mom? And hold up a nickel, and I'll say, well, what is it? He'll look at it. It's a nickel. See, you know, don't give away the answer right away. Let him think a little bit. And if he doesn't know for sure, what's this worth, Mom? Well, I don't know. What is it worth? And it takes him a minute, but he'll think, oh, this is a dime worth 10 cents, okay? And then he's doing what? He's counting by fives. That's multiplication. He's counting by tens. That's multiplication. And then the quarters, he's working on that. But he does his fives and his tens real well. That also incorporates to the dollars too. He knows how to count by fives with the dollars and by tens with tens. And he's learning 20s, okay? And he's also learning tax. Here in Kentucky, we have 6 cents per dollar is our tax. So I've taught him how to figure it up on his phone. The calculator app on his phone, he can type in whatever he's saving for, times that by 0.06. It gives him a number, you know, big number, and I say add in what the cost is, and he's done that. And then you round it to the next one. And I taught him how to round that way, and now he knows how to figure out tax, and he's only 10. So it'll take some time with some children. Start with it now. Don't matter how old the child is, they can learn it. Now, granted, babies, toddlers, no. But I meant school-age children, any age children can do it. Start with pennies. It's easier to count. And then show them that a penny, 5 pennies make a dime, or 5 pennies make a nickel, and so forth. Show them that, and it's easier to count by 5s than count one at a time to get to the bigger number. That's what I've done, and that's part of homeschooling. Cooking is part of homeschooling. I'll ask Parker, you want to help me cook some cookies? And he'll say yes or no. So if he doesn't want to help, that's fine. I don't make him do it. If he does want to help, then I help him with measuring and reading. You read ingredients, and you measure out what you need. And you learn how to read instructions and how to make a cake or bake cookies. So he knows how to read instructions. He knows how to follow the instructions. He knows how to look at a measuring cup and know what the 1/4 looks like, what the 1/2 looks like, all that stuff. That wasn't in a school setting. That was just at home, taking time out with mom, learning a few little things. I haven't gotten him to do any dishes or anything yet. He doesn't have the patience for that right now, I don't think. But I have, however, he wants a certain cup and it might have been dirty. I showed him how to wash that cup. See, that's something. So I told him you just squirt a little bit of Dawn dish liquid, because I have this little dude here. I saved a hand soap container. This is Dawn dish liquid, that potent kind too. So a little bit goes a long way. I said you just squirt just a little bit in your cup. And you put some water in there, and then you use this little bottle brush, which I have kept this bottle brush since he was a baby. It's 10 years old. A little flat. But, you know, when you push it, you know, it just kind of goes into the creases and stuff. But I taught him how to do that. And then you rinse it. And with cups, I don't know about you guys, but I smell them. Does it smell stinky? Does it smell like sour milk? Does it smell like Kool-Aid? Does it smell anything? Does it smell like soap? That means it's clean. Does it smell like anything? It smells it. If it's soap, you might have too much soap in there, you gotta rinse it again. You just keep doing that. I go by smell with the cups. I always did as a kid. Everything else, like a plate, you can feel with the plate. You know, I'll teach him that. Feeling with a plate, if you feel a bump, get it. You know, a lot of times you can't see everything. Use your other senses, it helps you clean. Oh, I see this right here. Hank sent a text that said, "Doctor called and said, I need oxygen because you take my breath away." He must be having a good time outside in this building. That's sweet. So, there's just some homeschool examples, okay? Soon, like if he does good, and if I have time, that's a lot of my problems, but we could do little projects. That'll be art. That'll be, like say the project is the solar system. That's science, art, history, all pretty much together, right? And then we can do what? We can write about it in his little journal. That's writing, English, grammar. It don't have to take all day for school, like the public schools think you need to have. It don't take all day for that. Going outside and playing, just being a kid, it's just, that is a lot of learning and social skills and all that. So I take him to the park, and I take him with me shopping. A lot of people leave their children at home. I take him with me shopping. He knows how to shop. He knows how to open doors for people, to be patient and wait, and he's learning how to read ingredient labels on the back of things. Mom, is this good or healthy for you? And he'll look through there, and I'm like, this word right here is a bad one. Some of those big words you can't pronounce. So he's learning that a little bit. You cram their head full of stuff, they're not going to soak it in, That's what I did. I was a straight A student, guys, and I tested well. Why? Because I would study. I would stare at it, memorize it, and I'd run it through. Did I learn it? Did it stick here? I don't know anything about history. Not until I reread it again and it sinks in with me and I realize what it means to me, that's when I hang on to it. Just think about that. So, I'm not pressuring anything. All the different states of the United States. He's aware of their states, but it's not going to sink in how far away they are or anything like that. None of that's important right now. He just knows there's some states around Kentucky, and we live in Kentucky. He's learning geographically because of all the door dashing we do, or places that we visit, or doctors. He knows the cities around our town. Our town is Lawrenceburg, and I've taught him north, south, east, and west, and I've taught him what towns are above us, south, east, and west, and he'll say, what town are we in? Because a lot of times he'll have his phone, he's looking down like this. So what town are we in? Are we in Frankfort? No, buddy, we're down south. We're down in Harrodsburg. So, but when he sits up front with me, he pays attention. And he'll know his surroundings. That's important for children. Knowing their surroundings, because if they get lost, they know where to go. I taught Parker his address a long time ago. And the streets that are around Waterfield. What streets are next. He knows those street names. And he knows what Walmart is. He knows dollar stores close by. Children are smart. You just got to give them some credit. Because you never know, guys. You never know. So, trying to think what else homeschool-wise. Because I always get that. Does your child obey you in homeschool? I'm like, I teach differently than school does. I don't make them sit at a table all day long. I just don't. Laundry, he would help me before. He likes sitting up there on the dryer, and he liked tossing the clothes down in the washer when he was 2 and 3. You start with them young with house chores. 2 and 3, he'd throw clothes in there, and I'd straighten them up, because he can't reach the bottom. And then when I get clothes out of the washer, what do? He stands, because they're interested in what you're doing, and they want to help. So he was like 2 and 3, standing in front of the dryer, and I'd hand him an article of clothing from the washer, and he'd throw it in for me. I say, shake it out, and he'd shake it out and throw it in there. Now, if it was too big for him, I'd do it. But when it's his clothes, oh, look, it's a Parker sock, and he'd shake it, Parker sock, and throw it in there. Just make it fun. And do that with all your children. And now it's not fun to him anymore. He's older, right? So now I don't make him do laundry because it's not fun. He knows how to do laundry. And the mechanics on it, the knobs and everything, he may not know exactly. But it would be a refresher. And he knows clothes that are dirty goes in the washer. When they're wet, they go in the dryer. And all he would have to do later on is just read on the top and see what to put it on. But I could be here to tell him that. But he'd know to do it if I was down. Or if Hank was down and I was down both. You know, he would know how to wash laundry. So now all I do is I'll take out our laundry and I'll fold mine and Hank's and, you know, bedding and bath and stuff. So his clothes, teaching him how to fold and put away. I put his clothes in the basket and let him do that. Now, for a while I caught him. He wasn't folding and putting it in the correct spot or hanging up his shirts. So now that we got his room all nice and cleaned up, I'm going to go behind him and make sure that he folds everything and puts everything back the way it should be and hanging up all his shirts just to keep his room nice and clean. Because now he's realizing, ooh, this is so nice. I don't have to step over toys or anything like that. It's starting to get hot. I just want to give it a good little stir. Okay. Well, while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and clean up my counter space here. Cleaning as you go does help out a lot. And a lot of times, my problem is I didn't have time because I'd have to go somewhere. But Parker's old enough. He wanted me to come check his room, and I said, or come look at something. I said, no, I'm not leaving this kitchen until everything's done. I gotta learn how to say no. Too nice. So instead of running to go do what he wants me to do, I said, no, you're just gonna have to wait till I'm done or whatever, because I won't get everything done. So, and I make myself stay up no matter how tired I am, and just get the few dishes done that might be left, just so I won't have a dirty sink or dirty countertop the next day. Because I do not want it to pile up again. My back's sore, so for you guys that are tall, I lean over like this and just put one foot in front of the other and the other one behind, and just kind of stretch my lower back and stuff while I do dishes a little. And then I'll switch feet too once it quits stretching. Stretches your buttocks, your lower back, arch up and kind of help with your middle back. I stand too much, and I have varicose veins, and it makes my legs swell and all. That's a lot of my problem. Alright, let's see. We have all kinds of cups over here. I found all these in my refrigerators. Parker. Guess what? Parker. That's where all of my dishes come from, is that boy. And this, we went to McDonald's today, so I think this is still good. And this is mine. But I don't deny him any drinks, any food. We don't have any food names on food around the house, you know, so if he wants it, he's allowed to get it. So he's got Kool-Aid and he forgets there might be a cup in there and gets another cup. I'm gonna try to train him. It's gonna be hard. Like I said, I'm not here all the time. So when I'm gone, he fends for himself, you know, while I'm door dashing. Because he's got Daddy here with him, but Daddy doesn't get up. Not a whole lot. Do the same thing, or men, but like a catch-all where you have all your bread ties and everything all down in here. I decided to use little like Dole cup, peach cup containers and put all these in here, and I moved it to the back instead of in the front because we use the silverware the most, right? I got rubber bands. And I needed a bigger container, so I got a little plastic Tupperware container to put all these other bread ties in. So then, all of the plastic forks and spoons and knives and all that stuff, I'm trying to get rid of plastic in my house, so slowly but surely. So what I've done was put those in a little Ziploc bag and put it in my crafting and art stuff. Because we could craft with that stuff, but I don't necessarily want to eat with that stuff. So that's what I've done with that. Probably going to do straws the same way because I found some metal straws. And I really need to use these metal straws. You know, they're all different sizes. But look, they got kind of rubbery, could be plastic, I don't know. But we might end up taking them off. I just figured, since I found these, that I'll probably get rid of all those straws and put them in crafting too, and just use these. Just me and Parker use them anyway. And or be good for parties too, because sometimes you just don't have enough silverware and stuff. And hang this dude up here. When I was putting my kitchen together and redo my kitchen, I just hang up as much as I can. The reason for that's because I don't have that many drawers in my little kitchen, so that's why I do that. Just like my pots and stuff, I have to hang those up also because I don't have much pot storage. Oh yeah, I can put this back. I might go ahead and put the top on that stock pot because put in the heat and bring it to a boil faster. Birthday. I'm trying to go with stainless steel and things, and then I also found these game cups, and guess what they are? They're plastic. Made in China. I don't know how to read those plastic things. I need to look that stuff up. Dr. Barbara O'Neill on YouTube, and she's been enlightening me on different things I've been doing wrong my whole life about different things can affect hormones and everything. It's crazy. how much knowledge she has. And it's awesome that she does have it. The good Lord got it to her to spread it to others, you know. Thankful for that. Some people may not know, but the tops on your cups, like your big coffee cups and stuff, and these stainless steel cups, they have a rubber seal around to help hold it on tight. When you wash them, make sure you take those off because they can get all nasty and caked up. See, this one's a clear one. If you can't get your fingernails underneath there, just get you like a butter knife or something and try to peel that off. So a lot of times you'll have nasty gunk in underneath here and you don't see it, and or on these rubber seals, but every single one of them have it. Recognize earlier that this refrigerator is dirty again. I bought some containers to hold Kool-Aid and lemonade and Gatorade and things in for Parker's party. Be easy to get, and I don't have to wait on every child. And this red one, for some reason, see, it's just leaking. And I don't know what's going on, but it's leaking all down everywhere. And every now and then I try to come in here and wipe this up. Now I don't know if this is from Parker getting stuff or not. If it is, it can be, you know, where he misses and doesn't keep the cup underneath of it, you know. You know how children is. Children are going to be children. And a nice hot soapy rag gets this up very easily. Very quickly. I might not get every little spot, but well, it looks like he's splattered all the way up here somehow. Something dropped. I know one of the children at the party dropped one. I might not have seen it. And I told that child, I said, accidents happen. We don't cry about accidents. We just clean it up. Ain't that right? Don't get all upset because you made an accident. Just go on and grab what you need to clean it up. Some parents do flip out. Mine did. My mom did. She flipped out over any kind of little mess. Don't cry over spilt milk. It is expensive. You might want to cry now because it's expensive. But anyway, don't cry over spilt milk. Just assess the situation and quickly take care of it. Let's check on our potatoes. Anytime you open a pan off, the top off of the pan, tilt the top away from you like a shield so the steam goes away from your face. I learned that the hard way as a child. Who knows, there might be some teen out there that's reading, watching this, wants to learn something. And maybe you haven't been taught that. I don't know. Some of it might be common sense, and I'm sorry. Sometimes common sense has to be taught. These little dudes, Parker wanted to clip off the tips off of a pair of gloves. I said, well, and they're skeleton gloves, you know. I said, well, if you want to cut them off, save the tips. Here's the tips. Just in case he wants to put them back on, we can sew them back on, or we can use this for another project. I'm a hoarder. Maybe? Am I a hoarder or am I thrifty? I don't know. Y'all let me know down in the comments. Am I a hoarder or am I thrifty? I don't know. This little bag was given to me. A lady had a dog that passed away, and she gave me all kinds of dog toys and everything in this bag. I was like, shoot, that's a nice little bag, you know? I put our school stuff in that. And what I'm going to do now while I'm waiting on that to start boiling is I'm going to start folding laundry. So I have laundry dried in here. Hopefully no underwear showing. I got laundry in here to fold and put away. And I've got laundry just now finished up in the washer. My washer is very loud, so I didn't start my video until after that was done. But I'm also listening for the pan back here, so you can hear when the pan starts boiling. Okay. Alright, so I got my laundry folded up, put away, and I got the laundry from the washer over to the dryer and started filling the washer up. I fill up the washer as I find dirty clothes, and I wait until I get a full load before I run it. So, kind of helps on electricity and water and things. Unless I need something specific, then I'll go on a wash. I'm gonna go check on the potatoes, and I've got U-Haul plugged up to the wall because my battery. My potatoes wasn't boiling yet, so I've cranked it up. Since I'm over here watching it over the stove, you're not gonna stir. Starting to bubble. Got some steam going. Wooden spoons are good to like lay over top, so it doesn't boil over. And so I'll do that. Once it comes to a boil, which it's almost there, I'll set it for 20 minutes and let it boil for 20 minutes. He's been heating up some food and stuff, some leftover food. That's what these hot dogs are over here setting. I took those out of my big pan and washed it, thinking my potatoes would fit in it. So I'm going to be heating up the hot dogs, and we're going to have some leftover hot dog and chili. I really like my air fryer across the way. You see it over there? I really like that. It's like a mini oven. It has a setting on there to reheat food. It's the Emerald La Grosse. It's an older one, I guess. And there's a reheat button on here. You can't see because of the reflection. And there's a bake button and pizza and bagel toast, all that stuff. So I like to hit the bake button and set the timer, the Fahrenheit for whatever it says on the bag. And then I decrease the time because this is a small oven and it heats up faster than a big oven. So I decrease the time by a couple minutes or so. And just keep an eye on it. Don't let nothing burn. But the reheat button tastes just like it was just cooked. So I just put whatever I want to reheat, which I just made our plates is what I done. And stick it in here. Now the plate is very, very hot, just like you would a microwave. It just don't have that rubbery taste, you know? That nasty rubbery taste. And you hit the reheat button. But I'm gonna probably make our plates and do it that way. Bread here seems to rot real fast, so I keep this bread in the refrigerator. I bought it ahead of time and froze it, and then laid it out the day before the party, and it was thawed out. I put it in the refrigerator the day before the party, and then that morning I laid it out, and it's kept it. I don't have any mold on this bread. That's pretty cool. And this was Wonder Bread. The ingredients on it looked fairly better than most hot dog buns. If for some reason they won't eat when they're young and everything, as they get older, they will. Their taste buds will change and they'll start eating new stuff. Just keep having them taste it. Every time you fix something, have them taste something different. And eventually, it may taste good. Over there and push that reheat button. Start. This will be enough. I'm gonna add some cheese and onions to it. It'll be alright. We had a pretty big meal yesterday. And we was both still pretty full for breakfast this morning. Stopped at McDonald's and got a biscuit and gravy. I've been feeling bloated that time of the month. Okay, since that is boiling, I'm gonna go ahead and get together the rest of this. I need mayonnaise, which I'm gonna do Miracle Whip, mustard, Miracle Whip, salt and pepper, so I got it on the back of my stove, pickle relish, and dill pickle juice. That's all my pickle relish. Have to look and see if I got any more. I've got store-bought relish. I'm trying to use up all the store-bought stuff, or stuff that was given to us.
I don't like relish.
Before, I know you don't. Before I use up my stuff, but I don't even know if I got any relish. I got some relish, store-bought relish that I make for me. If not, I need to make some, right? Because it's good stuff. Losing my train of thought here. Okay. Dill pickle juice. Grab that. That's probably in the other refrigerator. Looking at my taters. And yes, I have. I've been keeping leftover dill pickle brine just for such occasions as this. I do shake it up a little bit. I'm not sure why I put it in this jar, but Maybe I didn't have any jars and I used them all. So it's been since last year, I guess, I've had this actual jar. So whatever dill pickle juice I have left over from other jars, I think that's what I would do. Just combine them and keep the jar and just keep going, you know, wash this jar. It's good for a sore throat. If you have a sore throat, feel sick-like, drink you some pickle juice. It's a good one way to have help with sickness. And I'm gonna need to drain the potatoes. And then I'm gonna need something to put potatoes in to take. Eventually, I'm going to move everything over to glass or stainless steel, but until then, I still have some plastic items. So I might have to get my big old plastic bowl. I don't know. Be right back. I don't really want to take up a whole lot of room. You know, when you go to somebody's house, you got a big old bowl sitting on our table. When I drain it, I wonder if it'll fit in here. It's a bowl with a top. I don't know, we'll see. Which bowl it's going to have to go in. Yeah, a whole lot of difference in the sizes. There's, you know, a little bit of room around the edge. But after that bowl's down, we'll see if it'll fit in here, be able to mix and all that. So I need to wash this top. Whew. It's getting hot because of the steam coming off them taters over there. Smells like peppermint still. Let's go ahead and give it a good wash. We've had our lunch and I've done up our dishes, and where I hurt my leg the other day, I had to rest it a little bit where I've been on my feet. So I went and played a little bit of Call of Duty with Parker. So I am back now to deal with the potatoes. I just turned the heat off and left them set here in this pan. So, ow, they're hot. Meow. My kitty in the background. So nothing's changed, you know, just going to dump them out. Hank has a huge family, so I don't know who all like to taste that and who don't. And then, of course, whatever doesn't get ate, we get to bring it home. So, that's pretty darn good. Pretty tasty. refrigerator overnight, and all the juices and everything will set, and it'll be even better tomorrow. Now on for chocolate chip cookies.